community-based tourism in different locations and local government areas in Lagos State. So we have come to further enrich our knowledge and also educate us about what is expected of us, how we can also assist the vision of the Lagos State government in the area of tourism development. So without wasting our time, we know that we need to also go back to our places of businesses. So on that note, I want to hand the mic over to our first speaker, who is going to be facilitating the first session at this event. She's a training expert from Naoto. So I have the honor of inviting her, Mrs. Chinyere Uche. Please let us welcome her with a round of applause.
So good morning, everyone. Good morning, our participants. My name is Mr. Adenike Adedoyin. I am the permanent secretary for the ministry. That it's going to be worth your while to be a part of this training. And of course, we'd like to say a very big thank you to our facilitator, myself inclusive, because I'm also a facilitator, for taking time out and counting it, worthy for them to invest their time to come and support us on this. I also want to say a very big thank you to the director in charge of community-based tourism, Mr. Simpson, our grade A director, tourism expert. Yes, she deserves a round of applause. And she's not working alone, she also has a team that are working with her. We have the director that will be driving and implementing the tourism, community-based tourism, Mr. Legushen, assistant director. And of course, all the other team members in the research and development department. So on this note, we want to say, we declare this training session open and wish us all a fruitful deliberation and knowledge sharing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the permanent secretary. I am actually from.
I appreciate that. And business is supposed to be moving on a Monday morning. So I appreciate your presence and that you're here on time. Representatives of the Uber and Bolt drivers, the representatives of community-based tourism. Lagos State is doing a lot in the Ibile zones. And I know that whatever is happening tourism-wise in Lagos, all the communities are supposed to be here. And tourism development. If I wasn't facilitating, and I know that this is happening, I would have been here. I love to drive. In fact, most mornings when I'm going to work, I pick people on the road to drive. So if I wasn't facilitating, I would have been here as a taxi driver. I'm seeing myself now as a taxi driver because almost every morning I do a kind of taxi driving. I may not be charging for it, but then that is what I do. So I am part of you here now today. I was in Aba last 2 weeks. I flew from Lagos to Owerri, and then I entered the vehicle. I paired with somebody from Owerri to Aba. I lost sitting in front. I've told you that I'm a driver. I'm a born driver. I'm supposed to be doing car racing. We're here every day. We may have to share some stories later. I've had mine too, of your encounters with people. What am I driving at? For anybody, I'm just using Lagos now as my case study. So for anybody that enters Lagos and enters your vehicle, there should be an impression. It is that taxi, your taxi, that is giving that first impression of what Lagos looks like. The person may be coming from a different background. I've entered a bus and a boy just jumped up inside the bus. Oh, praise the Lord, praise the Lord, praise the Lord. I made it. He wasn't talking to anybody too. I made it, I made it, I made it. He didn't care who were involved, who were inside the bus. So Somebody may be entering your vehicle sad. Somebody may be entering your vehicle happy. Somebody may be entering your vehicle silent. Say a lot about who you are first, who you represent second, and then the state you also represent. So why am I saying all this? We're talking about visitor management. A visitor may be a potential tourist. A visitor may be just anybody. You are carrying somebody, you may be carrying somebody now, it may not be from the airport now, it may just be from Ojota, and the person is coming into Lagos for the first time. The stories you share with that person may be what will linger on that person's head forever. That may be the only story the person will remember of Lagos. That may be, if the person is a foreigner, that may be the only only story the person will remember of wherever you are. So you are not just a taxi driver moving people from one place to another. You are doing a lot more. The kind of person you are. Alright? Something as simple, what we consider as simple as this Nigeria is just a useless place. Every time the police are exploiting people. If it's a foreigner, it's recorded. It's going into the person's head. Oh, this is how they behave here. You're sending a wrong impression. These are very simple things. Things we may not consider as anything, but at the end of the day, it is affecting even Nigeria as a whole. So these insights I want to give you so that you know the importance of who you are, who we are. Now we are together. So that we know the importance of who we are and know how to manage anybody at all that enters our vehicle. If we don't understand it, then all the money that we are spending here now in this state in tourism may never be working. We know that Lagos is spending so much on tourism, developing the communities, improving tourism infrastructures, and a whole lot more. But we are emphasizing on that because sometimes it's easy to get driver's license. So many people just do, I can drive and enter the road. And that is why when you're carrying passengers, you're cursing, you curse mother, curse father, curse everything. And people think in Nigeria, once you enter, it's only curse words you'll be using. If you don't use it, the road will not clear for you. So they are trained professionals. Once you're trained, you know, and these kinds of training, I would have loved that other people would have come. But then if your representatives, maybe you also organize a little bit of training for them when you go back. This is what we have learned from here, and we want you to learn a little bit out of what we have done. If this country is good, if this state is good, let's start from this state. If this state is good, you will enjoy it. We also, everybody. So they are trained professionals. We operate commercial vehicles for a living. Some can do for charity, but then most times for a living. I've talked that we meet with different people. So that experience, any visitor, let me not even talk about tourists, any visitor that comes into Lagos, whatever experience the person would have should start from your vehicle. I've visited a place once. In fact, I visited that place only once. But the taxi person that took me the first day, I used that taxi driver for the whole of my trip. And when I go back to Nigeria, anytime I have somebody visiting that country, I connect the person to the taxi driver. This thing has happened for more than 10 years. Until last year that he told me he was leaving the place because of COVID, he went back to his own. He was not originally from there. You know, so the first impression he gave me, I just wouldn't even want to forget about it. This is somebody I have never met. The kind of positives he was giving me, the kind of stories he was telling me on the road as I was just going to my hotel. You know, sometimes there should be limits to what we can say to visitors. But then, what first impression are you giving out? I got a call, one of my colleagues in the office. The brother called me and told me, oh please, my sister is in the office. Something just happened. We just lost our mom. One of the healing, let me call the name. So I escorted her outside because she was already worried what happened. And it was a sudden sickness. The carrier style, madam, just get in. She just came out and stood. Please, answer the truth for me. Somebody that was already feeling depressed. Because there was a kind of misunderstanding. Good morning, sir. I can't rock. And then, madam, just sit down. And normally, I won't even sit if I'm the one. There are people that when I want to buy from the market, the way they behave, if they are selling 10 naira, I'll prefer to pay 20 naira to have my piece. So she got down. After I went, the man said, are you not ready again? Are you not ready again? I said, sir, please, you won't go again. You can go. It's your mama that is doing like this. It's your papa. Started passing this report on this your behavior. Just look at that encounter. What kind of impression are you leaving? So anybody that enters your vehicle, any experience that person will have in your area should start from that vehicle. And stakeholders involved, you see that everybody is being carried along. The transportation sector, the accommodation sector, the attractions themselves, and every other thing around it. And when everybody is moving in sync, you see that the economy is growing, we are making more money, because when people come more, then we sell more. We carry more people, we make more money. At the end of the day, everybody is happy. So it's a sector that, if we put in our best, it will continue to grow, it will continue to benefit us. So that is what we should have at the back of our mind. So what is tourism? I know many of us have been hearing of tourism. But what do we think is tourism? The movement of people, when people leave their homes and go to another place and stay for more than 24 hours, you're not meant to spend more than 1 day. And then we also have people that just have not come to Lagos. Every time she says she'll come to Lagos. And the funny thing is that she has even left Nigeria to other places. They moved to other areas in Lagos. I went somewhere last week and I was like, oh, so this is also part of Lagos. Yes. And sometimes I leave my place and go to another place within my area and stay over. I'm engaging in tourism because I'm staying in a hotel. Maybe I'm visiting some of the local attractions there. So this movement must not be that you're seeing a white person coming in. No. We also engage in this tourism. If you stay with the developments, you see that sometimes somebody lives together, those people, Ebeg, Badagry, and the rest of it, to engage in tourism. So when we understand that this tourism we are talking about, this thing we are talking about, is not only when we carry people from the airport. No. We can carry people from Ojota, and they are tourists. We can carry people from Bega, and they are tourists. We can carry from all the other borders. They are tourists. So we have a lot of tourists in our midst. As most times, when we are in a gathering, you will, even the people in tourism, you will hear people that have not visited the Lagos. Okay, how many attractions have you visited in Lagos? Attraction. I don't know. And we're in Lagos. So everybody is a potential tourist. Everybody is even a potential visitor, because moving from here to here, you're a visitor to that place. So everybody is a potential visitor, and everybody can contribute to tourism development. So we have two types. We're just giving a rundown. Now we have people going out. We love that one when we move out, the outbound. And then we have people coming in, the inbound. And then we have domestic. You know, there was a statistic some time ago that if 1/10, as in 10% of Nigerians travel within Nigeria, we won't even be bothered about anybody coming into Nigeria. The more you can imagine, maybe if somebody starts recharge card business. Another person, okay, POS, let me use that one because that's the one that is running now. POS business. You may see a street and then you have up to 10 of them. But you see that 10 of them are still making money because we have that population. So when only 10% of Nigerians travel within Nigeria, we won't need to bother about people coming into Nigeria. And that is where the focus should be. We focus on us first. Look at what COVID did to us last year. And then we discovered that we have a lot within him. In fact, so many people that have been traveling, we encountered a lot of them during some of our trips. So many people that have been living in this country, every summer they're out. Because they were restrained, they couldn't travel out. They focused inwards. And they could not believe the depth of what we have in Nigeria. We are blessed. We are still looking for when we harness most of it. But then some that we have, some that are not even, that are still virgin, there are people that love such things. Some people, there were a group of tourists that came in. They wanted places that people have never been to. There are people that just do that. They want to be the first to discover those places. So even when we say they have not been developed, there are still people that will love to go there. Let them be the ones that we discover, then others can go. So we have international, we have domestic, and then we have different forms of tourism. I won't even go into that. So many of them. Even bicycle. I talked about food, wine, watching butterflies. So many, plus the ones on the board. Lagos is blessed with a lot of them. Towards the end of this program, we'll run down some of the attractions we have in Lagos. So we have so many of them. Let's keep moving so that we get. So these are the 5 A's. I always put these 5 A's because it's easy to remember. Essential to successful destination. Accessibility. Under that accessibility, we have transportation, we have food routes, and every other thing involved. We have accommodation. Different kinds of accommodations, from no star to 5 stars. Some places now they have 7 stars. They say they will develop 9 stars. So we have different stars. We have different. There are people that bring out some rooms in their homes, and then it's a sort of accommodation. So you live in people's homes. In fact, so many people love it now. They experience what those people experience in their home. They follow them to cook. If they are going to the farm, they follow them to the farm. Many people are buying into the amenities. What are the amenities on ground? At least Lagos is trying in that aspect. They are putting in a lot of infrastructure and the activities to engage in. Again, fishing, hiking, swimming, walking. So many of them. These are the 5 A's. If the destination has to be successful, there are still other, I like the A's. That's why most times I remove the Lagos very well. So I already knew there would be traffic. When we got to my destination, I said, oh, madam, so sorry, the traffic today. You know, because it's already closing time. I said, no problem, sir. He didn't have to apologize to me. After all, he did not cause the traffic. But he was just giving a little extra. Just a little extra. It didn't cost him anything to say, oh, madam, sorry, the traffic. I got down, I security in my house is the boss. So most times you come down and go and look for how to open your gate. So I got down and no, it was not there. So I was looking for how to open the gate. He was still, you know, using style to wait. And when he didn't come, I was still using style to wait, watching my luggage. So there's a way you go, open the gate, and until I entered that gate. But when I now was about to drag the luggage, he came down, helped me to drag that luggage. You know, normal us, we always feel that, oh, all these extras are for tips. So, oh, thank you, sir. You're a nice person. I gave him, oh, no, madam, I'm doing my job. I said, Jesus, in Nigeria. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it in Nigeria. I couldn't believe it. You know, but these are the things, especially when you offer these things and you reject whatever comes around it. You believe that you're doing what you're supposed to do. The bigger glory will come, not at that time. But when you do it and you're thinking, most people will believe, oh, all these ones are for tips. No, sometimes we take those things. This is what I feel like doing. I am a professional and I'm doing it as a professional. Sometimes, this is Lagos and not welcome to Lagos. You know, you're giving the person brief of what is in Lagos. You pass a poll. This poll was established. You know how you'll be feeling that you know that this was established in 1959. And oh, this is the Lagos State House of Assembly. This is where the, you know, you keep talking. The person is learning. So you are a potential tour guide. Every taxi driver should be a potential tour guide. Wherever you pass, any landmark you pass, unless you notice that some people enter your vehicle, they don't want conversation. Know where to put a stop to it. Yes. So you should be able to say, this is this. Oh, when you have time, I know you didn't come for tourism, but when you have time, you visit, you will see, you will love it. I've been there. You should take time and be there. Maybe Lagos too can organize farm trips for you, take you to attractions, give you a little bit of insights to those attractions, especially the major routes where you pass. And sometimes, when there is no traffic, you can try some routes. Some routes that you'll be able to see one or two things about the edifices around it, or if there are attractions around them. You can pass them, and then most times when we are out here, when we enter vehicles, they do that. And sometimes it tells you, oh, maybe I would love to visit here before I leave. You didn't budget for it, but now you're spending extra for it, and the state is making money. When the state makes too much money, maybe they'll be reducing the taxes we pay. So let's allow them make too much money, the taxes may reduce. These attractions, you pointed out may be, okay, I've said it may not be in their list, but they may decide to add it from the way you have painted it. They may decide to, okay, it's something I can try, let me do that. So the visitor management, let me just go down. It is just how you manage the visitor so that at the end of the day, there will be value. The person will feel that, oh, this visit, I got value. I did not waste my time to come and stay here. And these are what destinations mean. If you don't manage your visitors very well, then you may never come back. If I've come, I've enjoyed, I've seen attractions, I've seen people. In fact, some people visit places, not because of attractions, but because of the people. They will tell you, oh, these people are friendly people. You will love them. So now they are not going for attractions. They just want to come and interact with the people, live with the people, do what the people are doing. They are not visiting any waterfall or any theater, no. So let's add that to what we can offer in Lagos. Lagos is a unique place, and when the people are more friendly, in fact, we will have to keep, even apart from taxi drivers, every of the gathering, let's tell people, try and be friendly. Nigerians are friendly people anyway. There is always that comment, that positive comment from people that visit Nigeria. The warm welcome. Most times if we're in the village and we see the people that have married them from outside, and the way we treat them, it is different. Something they will know, they will now tell us, hey, because it's Oyibo, that's why you are allowing it. No, but because we know they are visitors and we want to welcome them. We welcome people and we want to welcome them as visitors. They go back, they keep saying, oh, these people are wonderful people. Maybe if another person does the same thing, the one of people goes, but then visitors, we should know how to welcome them, let them feel welcome. Even if they've done wrong, how do we correct them? It shouldn't be, oh, we will kill you, we know. So when we manage the visitors well, these are some of the benefits that we accrue to everybody. You know, a memorable and pleasant impression, that the person will keep on talking about it. And there are people that want it, they are very active on social media. There are people that have followed. Just look at when Macron came to Nigeria. and look at the kind of publicity he got, and look at the review he gave. When we had president to Nigeria, look at the publicity. So there are people, one person that visits that can change the face of the area. You shouldn't take people for granted. So it can give a good impression and the image of the country. We may not have to spend so much money saying Nigeria, good people, great nation. No. How do we interact with people that come to Nigeria? So the image is managed well when we have treated visitors very well. Even here in Nigeria, there are states you go to, you say, oh, that state, very lovely, very warm, very welcoming. Lagos, we know, can be tough. So when we talk of Lagos, we say, it's stress, hard life. But then, most of us, we still not leave Lagos. Yes, whenever I travel to Abuja, I say, you people should take me Abuja and bring me back my Lagos. Because it's too quiet. We don't like that kind of, we like action. Yes, now, hustle and bustle, that is life. You can't just be dull like that. No, you just keep moving. That is just what I consider life. Yes. Yes. So most times we will still finish and come back here. We say we die here. This is our own. And that is how we manage it. You know? When you don't have it, you won't enjoy, you will be missing it. Something is missing. Truly. You know, sometimes you say, oh, I need 1 week break. Fine. By the time you do 3 days, please, I'm good. I want to go back. Yes. That is, Lagos is infectious. As in, once you stay here, you don't want to leave elsewhere. You want, finish, you want to come back. Somebody said, why not take this, that, too? And then, oh, people are going to say, oh, yeah. When we have a place as good as this, freedom is lovely. Freedom is good. Maybe we don't appreciate it, but freedom is good. I love the freedom we enjoy in Nigeria. I don't know whether we can enjoy it anywhere else. So we love here, we die here. So because you want to impress the people you're carrying, you keep learning. Oh, you can take a book. Maybe there is a broken now on Lagos. Let me look at it. Okay, this place. I used to pass here, and I don't even know that this is the history behind it. Okay. So next time, when I have a visitor, I will have to impress the visitor. Let me tell the visitor about the place. So it makes you keep learning, keep knowing your environment, keep discovering. We traveled to Epe, and the driver, the first day we got to Epe, he asked, please, is it permitted? He was the one that enjoyed that trip the most. He said, this is the best trip he has ever done. Because we enter bush, you'll be the one in front. He has never done something like that. It was interesting to him. You know, tourism can be very interesting. It is life. It is life. So he just said, oh, if only he'll be getting this kind of job, that he won't have problem with that. Even if he doesn't get money, that the what he got from that trip was much more than whatever he was paid. He enjoyed the pictures. He took, I can take pictures. They know me, one shot. Because anybody can take pictures. Please, one shot. Anybody can do one shot, even president. Sir, please, I saw Bruce one day. The Oslo cinema, not his own. I said, please, we need to take pictures. At a point, but this guy took pictures more than everybody. He collected handles and started, you know, and with that, after a while, he may decide to develop a career in tourism. That is just it. That interest. That interest. So he was tagging every time when I get up, I can do that he will drive for free. Yes. Yes, truly. So you can imagine. So there are a lot we can gain. If we manage visitors well, they come more, and then we keep generating revenue, employment, and the rest of it. Duties of drivers to tourists. Now I added tourism. What are the duties of taxi drivers? We know we move people from place to place. Some of us don't have understanding of the road. Or some people purposely want to use the bad roads or the traffic areas. As a good driver, some people can get frustrated inside traffic. I don't like traffic. I may decide to stay here, there's traffic. I may decide to stay here or around here till 12 in the night so that I can move freely on the road. Some people are frustrated in the traffic. In fact, some people can have a reaction to traffic. And then you purposely enter a traffic area just because you want to make the journey long and then get more money. That shouldn't be. If you're not sure, we have a lot of technologies now. I'm moving from here to there, like Google Map. There's a traffic radio. We have we are not used to the GPS, but there are a lot of things we can use. Sometimes, like the bus drivers that travel to the east, if they leave in the morning, they call. Traffic there anywhere. They are getting information on the road to know whether they will cut places. So even if you can't use technology, you can ask people. If you don't know the area, ask before you start venturing on that journey. We travel for World Cup sometimes, South Africa, and we watched I Love Football. So after watching one of the matches, it was very late. When we got back to Dubai, we entered Pepsi. The man took us round and round. He felt he was using GPS. Every point he asked questions. Every point he asked questions. Every point, at a point, we had how many police vehicles surrounding us? Yes, because he was looking so suspicious. So I was wondering, in this era that they have visitors, why would they bring people like him to be driving people? And we know how that area can be. So don't use customers to catch rules of what you don't know. Use knowledge of local streets. At least, if you're driving in Lagos, know the major areas. You must not know everywhere, but at least know some areas. You know that if there's traffic here, you can use this side to cut off this place. You should have good knowledge of the area, and know the streets to pass. I had a friend that the taxi driver was trying to cut off a street around Lagos. Now entered a place that she was robbed. Yes. At a point, she said it was arranged with the taxi driver because the man did not talk. When they were doing that, the man did not talk. It was when they left and she started shouting. He said, "Madam, did you not see the gun?" They were pointing gun at him, but she didn't see it. So, because it was unusual, he didn't talk, it was like this. So even when you're passing roads, also know where to pass. I don't want to say I traveled somewhere again, but I traveled somewhere again. And the map was telling this person to take this road, and they refused to take that road. At a point I said, "Please take this road." So he eventually took the road. And then I knew why. Most times what we see on the television, mansions, good this, good that, I saw something worse than inside my village. This is a well-established country. I couldn't believe it. In fact, this is America. I could not believe it. So I started thinking, maybe that was why he didn't want to take that road. He didn't want me as a foreigner to see that area. Then we go carry the person enter. Lagos, nonsense. They will not be true. Look at the end. This is how everywhere is in Lagos. Even the express, even the ones that are good, they join and finish on top of your visitors. You are not protecting your country well. So sometimes when we know that an area is not good, maybe there are disturbances there, just use avoid that place. If the road is so terrible Don't bother. Look for a good road. Remember, we are not hiding it, but at least we have the good things we can project. Most times we say that we don't want to keep quiet, but then we should also acknowledge the good ones. So why not focus on the good ones and let the bad ones continue to improve? Yes. Follow all traffic laws. That one. And last mile, they won't catch taxi. They won't catch bus. Now, normal people. Yes. But then, what are you protecting? Because by the time you beat the traffic light, you're protecting a lawless society. Remember, we're trying to protect a good image of our country. So you beat traffic lights. In fact, when they want to stop you, you abuse the officer. You even want to run over the officer. And you're carrying a visitor. You're carrying a passenger. Every passenger, consider that person a visitor. You're carrying somebody that is supposed to know that this place is a good place. Obey traffic laws. Your license must be up to date, so that you won't carry a visitor and they stop you, and then you're telling the story of how you were planning that after your bet, you will now go and redo it. You don't need that stress. This is something you know that you will still do. If they catch you, you will still pay money on top of what you will still do. So why not get your documents ready? Your vehicle license, your driver's license, and every other required document. Don't get into arguments unnecessarily. When you're driving, some people, even when you have passed, they will wind down. The person know they hear again. No? The person cannot even hear you. Just to satisfy yourself, you will wind down and then cause the person. We are not protecting the image. Master the road and traffic signs. Some of us, this one, another experience. Just close to my house because I have a road safety close to me. So I was in a taxi and the man stopped. I said, "You can arrest you here. You can't stop." He said, "Just 1 minute. I just want to collect something." As if I bewitched. Immediately reversed. He landed. I told you, and he was very close to me. I said, "Okay, settle with them." I carried my car. So even that 1 second, you can be arrested, and then they carry you with the passenger, or you will now have to, because after that, after the harassment, and you have paid something, maybe it's a tip, or they give you tickets, you won't be happy for the rest of that time. So you will just be cussing and cussing and cussing, and it will be affecting the person you're carrying. So park where you're supposed to park. Don't enter one way. And so many other road signs. Pay tolls where necessary. Some will almost fall their vehicle because they won't cut corners, avoid where they will pay tolls. Pay tolls where necessary. After all, you charge the visitor, you charge your passenger. Maintain a functioning and clean vehicle. I entered one vehicle one day. I jumped down. It was as if he carried a corpse. I don't know what else I can use to describe this stench. If you've washed anything raw on your vehicle, please dry it. I couldn't stay. I thought down. Please take your money. I can't continue. I couldn't. Maintain a clean vehicle. It tells a lot about who you are. If your vehicle is not clean, then you're telling people that even your country is not clean. That even your heart self is not clean. Yes. Yes. So maintain a clean vehicle. What are the qualities? Punctuality. Especially when somebody has called you. Please, I need you, okay. I'll be there in the next 5 minutes. Maybe you're supposed to pick somebody in Ikeja. You are still at there. You say in the next 5 minutes. There is God, you know. They will call you. I'm almost there. I'm close to ShopRite. In the next 3 minutes. You never reach up in 100. because you don't want the person to take another vehicle. It doesn't say well about you. Be friendly. Like I narrated earlier, some people enter that vehicle with a lot of stress. What they may need is just a smile. We have case studies at the end of it so that we can look at stories. They just that little smile. The lady that I took the taxi with just needed little encouragement. You know? So just be friendly. The one that said, just sit down. And you don't know what she's passing through. You know? Be responsible, competent. Some of us, I can drive. Are you competent? Be hospitable, pragmatic. Somebody enters. Okay, how are you today? Because you have learned that you should be friendly. Okay, how are you today? I'm fine. The person is pressing. Okay, I like your dog. I'm not listening to you. Okay. The other day, you know what happened? Some people can box you if you continue like that. So I just saw a post on Instagram. How do you stop taxi drivers from talking to you? So you will know that this person, they don't do it, you know. So the taxi is now looking like, the driver is now looking like a pin in the neck. That's why he's asking us, and they were giving him suggestions. Just don't greet him when you enter. Just bone your face when you enter. You know, these are the tips. So you should be able to preempt. You should know whether you should talk or you should not talk. If you strike up a conversation and it's only one way, slow it down. Meekness, sensitive. You should be sensitive to people. A man said, the lady, he called the lady. Behold, that lady went there to commit suicide. Yes. So he narrated it on the social media. So when he got there, he was looking at the area. What would this girl be doing? And maybe she came to meet somebody else. So he was not blaming himself. Maybe he was more sensitive. He would have noticed that something was wrong. Another person, a passenger from Port Harcourt, and took the lady to a location. So he said when he got to that location, he was feeling somehow. Here. So he collected the lady's number. Call me after 30 minutes. He said, please make sure you call me after 30 minutes. And then he said, before he left, he noticed that the entrance, the way the lady entered the gate was suspicious. It was as if he was rushed into the gate. So, after 30 minutes, he didn't get that call. He had a friend, a policeman friend. He called the policeman friend. I think something is wrong somewhere. A taxi driver, no relationship with, this is in Port Harcourt, no relationship with that lady. I think something is wrong. Please, can you go with one of your friends? I want us to go somewhere. I think something is wrong somewhere. And when they got to that place, it was in the news. The kind of atrocity that was happening in that place. People, they have caught their hands. They rescued a lot of people from that location. Just by a man, a taxi driver that didn't have any link to the lady. But because he was sensitive, he was able to notice that something was wrong somewhere. Saved that lady's life and so many other people's lives. Be calm. 1 to 5 passengers. You must pay 1.5. No, we said 1.3. Then you know there was traffic. 5 don't start. You have to be calm. Sometimes when you explain, somebody entered the vehicle at the airport, and at the end of the trip, he gave 700 naira, and she knew already that this guy paid 500 naira at the parking lot. So that means it was just 200 naira he was supposed to make. So people are humans. In a normal person that thinks well, we know that, oh no, this is not good for him. So naturally, people will do something. For some normal people, there are normal people that this is what they're giving me, this is what I'll pay. But you fighting, because that is actually what the person is supposed to pay. You fighting now that, did you not know that I paid this? You don't need to fight. You can explain in a calm way. Please, this is what happened. This is what I'm going to do. I didn't know I'll pay this too. I thought I would just come and pick you and go. When I got there, they said I must go and park. So this is, you know. And when you explain and the person refuses, please take it as your own sacrifice too. Don't rush it. Don't do anything extra. Please. So what are some of the things? Carrying a visitor and the person asks you, which hangout is happening today, this morning? I want to attend something in Lagos because I'll be traveling back tomorrow. Do you know what is happening? So you should be able to give tips on what is happening around Lagos. You can do another. I told you the person that dropped me at home also helped me carry my luggage. Some people, once you pay them, they will open the boot, carry your luggage the way you want to carry. That little. So these are the things that will make you remember places that you have been to. Visit attractions yourself and see yourself as #1 ambassador for Lagos and for Nigeria. You always have interface with people. So you should be #1 ambassador. Watch what you say. Watch your behavior, your attitude. It says a lot about who you are and where you come from. And that's me. So this is, we know Lagos State, so I won't dwell much on it. They have done a lot in tourism, so I'll just, before I go there, let me know the people that know Lagos. How many people have visited attractions here in Lagos? How many? Hey, I'm not saying that. I'm not asking the people in tourism. Other people that are not in tourism. You are a community, no. Guys. So where did you visit?
Fortunately, we are getting there because we problem.
We always commend Lagos because they are doing a lot in tourism. Okay? So he has visited Badagry, and I challenge you today. Let's not just see this as, we have come, we will talk, we will go, and life continues. No. You can be the different person. Be that different taxi driver. Challenge yourself to be different. Let me be the only ambassador. You know, once we start something, people will start copying. By the time you know, other people will want to be like you. Challenge yourself. Be different. We have so many of them around us. So many of them. So let's just run down some of it. I can't, it is even, you can't exhaust it. So the next slide, we just look at it. I'm not calling any of it because it is, we have a lot. We have beautiful, I don't know, I love water. We have beautiful beachfronts. Beautiful ones. Some of them you walk in, some of them will embarrass you. Then we have beautiful, I don't know when we will have that, and then people know will go. We have parks, we have theaters, we have galleries. A lot, look at that place, and you don't pay anything. No money. You don't pay 1 kobo. So why won't you visit? We have a lot of them. So know them, visit them. These ones, I never even start. There are so many. Only the beaches alone in Lagos. So visit, take time out, visit. Like I told you, problem, no they finish. You must leave. So these are some, I saw maybe Lagos State can also organize things like that for them. do farm trips for them, let them know what we have so that they can also talk to potential people. This is what we have. They are number one ambassadors. They are the ones that have that interaction with customers. So they can have some of these courses organized. And if they don't, you can do some of them online. Google some of these things online. I believe in self-development. If nobody is doing it for me, I do for myself. When they do for me, I thank them. So Google some of them online. You don't even need to pay anything for them. If you don't have, your children can help you print out just few. You don't need too much. Just look at what you've done now. Simple things. You don't need too much. Do them. Keep developing yourself, and then it will keep getting better. So let's leave this. These ones are foreign case studies. Okay, we have some of Nigerian case studies. The conclusion is that we need to do more. We need to do more. We need to do more. So let's hear, I don't know, maybe some of the taxi drivers have had encounters. So let's see this is our local case study here. What experience have you had? Have you had any kind of experience, special experience? Yes, sir.
There was a time I carried one passenger as I'm just walking and then one man just stopped. I'm asking him where he just entered the car and was now telling me that he wanted to know the exact place that there is the public inside the United Republic. But later, he now told me he actually wanted to go to Calabar. I should just carry him to Calabar. Yeah, that's the Republic. Yes, he said when he was young, he came from Jamaica. He said his father used to talk about the republic inside another republic. And just wanted to know the exact place. Then I carried him. Then he started to be asking me so many things about Calabar Republic. Then the little I could tell him, I started telling him. So later, when they are coming back, he said I should carry him to where they buried fella. Then now carry him back to Baby Solar Street. So that is one of my experience.
Because this is a very good note to end. That is the number one person that has interacted with a tourist. And thank God, he knew the Republic inside the Republic and still knew where the buried fella. And you can imagine the kind of impression he would have left on that visitor. So I thank you for your time, and I pray you don't just stop here. Let's keep learning, because as long as we live, we must keep learning. Thank you very much for your time.
Well, thank you very much, ma. You've made the presentation very interactive. I need to look at my time to see that we spent over an hour. So that's to tell us that it was quite a knowledge sharing session. So thank you for all those practical aspects that you brought into the presentation. We so much appreciate you for that wonderful presentation. We are going into the second presentation for today. Let me tell us that our presenter, she is very passionate about service delivery. And when you are talking about service delivery, you are talking about satisfying those who are seeking services from you. You make effort to meet their expectations. And putting her in this ministry is not a coincidence. It's really a well-thought decision by the state government. Because when you talk about tourism, really, there's no how you don't interact with the public. And because of interacting with the public, you need to give them a lasting impression that they will talk about even after the encounter. And even since she came on board in the ministry, she has initiated several several ideas on how to further interact with the public. In Lagos State, let me tell us, there is what we call service charter, and service charter, we have some ministry that have really embraced it. And when you visit this ministry, you see their front desk offices, you see the way you'll be welcomed, and you see the aura within that environment. So that's telling that public sector in Lagos State is not the way it used to be in the past, that people will just come in and they have an experience or an encounter that is that will not speak well of the government. So our permanent secretary is the brain behind this initiative in Lagos State. She came on board and initiated this, that when people visit Lagos, when they visit our offices, they must have this cordial relationship. We must tell them this is what we want to do to them, this is the services we are offering within this time frame, and what our visitors also what we expect from them. So I have the honor of inviting her to lead this session, a very customer-centric permanent secretary, the accounting officer in the ministry. Please welcome Princess Adenike Adekoyi Ajayi.
Good afternoon once again. I hope we are learning well. Let's try that.
My head, my shoulder, my knees, my toe. My head, my shoulder, my knees, my toe. It all belongs to the Lord.
The emotional things that goes with serving people. You know, when you go to a shop sometimes, if you go to ShopRite, for me now, if I go to ShopRite now, and I get the ShopRite is so big. So if I'm looking for something, I say, excuse me, where is this thing? Go over there, it's there. Excuse me, where is this thing? Or you get what they keep because of one bread. You are now queuing up from here till the gate of Alausa. Because of one bread. In fact, I don't go there anymore. Because I'm not getting a relationship with them. I'm not getting any customer experience with them. They are very detached from us. But when you go to a small shop, you know, maybe the one around your corner, maybe the one around you, when you get there, and they know that you always buy this thing from them, as you are coming, mommy, you're welcome, this thing is here, they can be selling that thing cheaper somewhere else. But the relationship that they give you, the experience, mommy, this thing is here, even if it's not, mommy, we have ordered it for you. In fact, sometimes they will call you, see that thing you wanted to buy, we have ordered this, but it's in the shop now. They will help you to carry your basket. As you are going there, no, leave it. They will carry the basket for you. They know almost exactly the things you come and buy. So if you buy something, I say, mommy, you didn't buy sardine. I came out sardine now. Okay, you know, mommy, this bread. There's a new bread, though. You think you like that one? There's another one. The person that is supplying them that bread is pushing the other bread into the market. But they will then help to romance you very well. So that you will start trying to taste it. Just taste yourself. You know, you can't refuse them. They're so nice to you. They've become, even when you now go there, if they have changed staff, you say, where is that? Oh, she went to our other branch. Okay. You will also know that you begin to, even in the market, you have your for that you're always buying a cup from. Because that person gives you such good experience. Lord, follow the lady. Whether if you want a lady your money, let me put for you. Sometimes should they pick it for you? Should they do this for you? They do all of those things. That's what is called experience. Do you understand? Sometimes the services might not be provided, but in the midst of the service failure, you will still enjoy a good experience. For example, somebody is supposed to come and pick you. Let's just use something that we cannot release. Somebody is supposed to come and pick you, and the person couldn't make it. but the person is calling, excuse me, ma'am, my tire, you know, I can't make it, but you know what, I've arranged another taxi for you, but the taxi is not going to come early, because as I was coming, that was when I realized that that was when the tire busted, so it has cut the time. Do you want to wait? Can you do this? But the person is already coming. The name of the person is so and so. They will get to you maybe about 20 minutes late. You know, you will not even think of that person not coming again, or that you won't even think that person has disappointed you, because the person has given you a good experience, even when they are failing to deliver the service to you. They've done so many things to make you feel good, to make you have a good experience without delivering the services for you. In fact, you can even be the one to say, no, don't worry. When you finish your tire, come. Because I want to give, it is you that I want. Thank you for all the arrangement, but don't worry, I can wait. The place is not that important. You know, the place, and I can still not go now. In fact, you can even change the date. Okay, let's do it tomorrow. But you know, the person is now the one that has taken up that responsibility to say, I'm fine. You have already done all the customer service there. You have managed the situation. And so that's some of the things that we want to talk about. Okay, let's go. So the first thing is that you should know your customer. You cannot give your customer any good experience if you don't know them. Right? So who are your customers? Let's be talking. Who are your customers?
Customer is somebody I'm interacting with.
Someone that comes for your patronage. And who can that be? Thank you. Let me appreciate them. Who can that be? Who are the type of people that come for your patronage? Yes, sir. Passengers. What are the categories of these passengers? Thank you, sir. Please clap for him. What are the categories of these passengers? Yes, sir.
They are tourists.
Some of them can be tourists. Are we only dealing with tourists? No. Yes, sir.
Can be students.
Students? Yes. Anybody else? Visitors? Yes. Workers? A native of the place? Different kind of people. Pregnant woman, fat woman, market woman, daddy, grandpa, small pikin, madam, so many. You are just dealing with different. Some people even have animals. You know, visitors have dogs. Yes. Some of your passengers, they have dogs, cats, rabbits. Some will have cow. Yes. Is it not true? Sure. And then both of you will be looking and you will say, excuse me, this man. She want to know the guy. How do they get in? You know, social media. One day I saw a person put my inside boot in a taxi. One of them put it on top of Okada. Yes. Your passengers can come, they can take this one house. They want to take it. So you can just be expecting different kind of customers with different needs, different things that they will demand of you. Some are impossible. Some you have to be creative and make it possible. Some you have to turn them down. But it's the way you turn them down that matters. Now I went to, just like you are a traveler, I'm always going. I went to Cape Verde, I think before COVID lockdown, 2019. And when they came, I saw this bus at the hotel that we were staying. And I thought what they had, I'm sure the photo is on my phone somewhere. I thought it was so ingenious when the taxi man came to carry some people. You know those things that you have at the back of your bumper that is like a towing thing, like this, yeah? That's iron. They now have this, they built thing that it has two tires. Like the trolley, but it's like a little big box with two tires attached to that, and that's where they were putting all the suitcases. So they could have, so you have a family of 5, 3, you know, or 4, 3 at the back, 1 is already sitting with the passenger. But all of them have two spaces. You know where people are going on holiday. You pack for the thing you are going to use and all of the things that you are going to buy. So one suitcase will be empty to buy things. Yes? So if you have family of 4, you are talking about 8 suitcases, not hand luggage, no dey there. Mommy handbag, no dey there. All of those things, no dey there. So how would you carry it? And I thought that was so creative of them. Those are the kind of things that you should be doing to satisfy your customers. Have little things there so that when they are coming, in the UK I know they will ask you how many passengers, how many luggages. So the taxi that they will send to come and pick you will be determined by that information you give them. So sometimes it's good when your passenger, we are going to the airport, oh, how many people? You will now get there. Charge. Maybe you have to call another taxi. This one is all these boxes. All these are things that you should have asked them. Know your customer. Ask them. How many of you are traveling? My car is only 4 passengers. In fact, if it's in the UK, they don't allow people to sit in front because of COVID. But in Nigeria, we still sit. They say 2 people at the back. In Nigeria, we still carry. The back will carry they are supposed to be there. Do you understand? But part of being customer friendly is also abiding with the law of the land. Your customer will take you serious. They will respect you because you are also an ambassador of the law of the land. So why don't you just know your customers? Ask them, ẹrù mélòó lẹ ní, èèyàn mélòó don't travel. So maybe from that time you're already booking for 2 taxis. Or maybe you can also be creative and have that tow behind your taxi. You understand? Your union can take it up in case last man and everybody wants to start harassing you. You understand? They can take it up so that that thing can be established. You know, I don't know if it is okay because I see a lot of cars that still have it anyway. I don't know. But if it's going to become a problem, it is something that will improve us. So that you know you will see somebody, they will carry, you cannot see the back of your taxi anymore because everything will go. Luggages. The head of the passenger is here. Passenger is carrying, pikin is carrying luggage, the pikin is also carrying luggage on top of themselves and everything. So you see, but if you do not know your customer, you will not know how to serve them. If you don't know them, you will not know how to deliver services to them. You will not know their needs. And it is only when you know their needs that you can also serve them well. So you must know your customers. And of course, when you know them, you'll be able to do what makes them happy. Then what do you think can make your customer happy? Let's even talk about it. What sorts of things? Yes?
Service. Giving home service.
Giving them quality. Give me a definition. What is quality service? Because what is quality for me might not be quality for another person.
Like calling them up to check on them if they enjoy the trip.
If they enjoy the trip, they are not the taxi drivers. They are not the good communication. Making them feel bad. Before I carry on, let me tell you what I experienced. I went to Dubai. I'm always traveling. I went to Dubai. And when I got there, that was when I realized that our WhatsApp does not really work in Dubai. You know that? It doesn't really work. They've shut it down. They have their own. They call it some other name. But if you get into the hotel, they will enable your WhatsApp to work in the hotel because they know that visitors are in the hotel. So I was now trying to call my nephew that, oh, I'm in the taxi, I'm coming. I said, this WhatsApp, he worked at the airport now. You know, but I stepped out of the airport, so the thing wasn't working. The man said, oh, don't worry. I have Wi-Fi in my taxi. I have Wi-Fi, connect. So I connected and I said, password, no, password, off, free, just connect, it will come. What has he done? He has put Wi-Fi in his taxi. How many of us have Wi-Fi in the taxi that we can give our customers? Meanwhile, you know that Wi-Fi, whatever it is that you are paying, is still the same thing. It doesn't mean that because one customer uses it, your subscription is now going to be more. If it's 5,000, it's still 5,000 for 1 month. It doesn't change. He gave us Wi-Fi. And I know that I'm not the only one. I'm sure it's because the way he said it, oh, don't worry, you don't have Wi-Fi. He's Abdullah, you know, I even remember his name. Just put Abdullah, lowercase everything, small. Don't put capital. And I put Abdullah and I said, okay, your pastor said, no, that's Abdullah, it's work. And I was able to talk to my nephew and I was coming home. You know, these are some of the things that are called customer service. No matter how much you want to make your customer happy, if you don't put things that will make them happy, that will enhance the services that you are giving to them, they will not be happy. You understand? So that's one example. There's another example. This one is in Kenya. Is it Kenya or Ghana? I can't remember now. That taxi driver, he said that he read, because we started talking, he said that he read it on social media, where one guy that is in America, but he's a Ghanaian, was working as a taxi driver. You understand? So, you know, and he does airport runs. And the guy has decided that I'm going to be a taxi driver with a difference. I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to be creative. So in his taxi, that one in America, he has a little fridge with soft drinks inside it. He has different tapes for Muslim people, for Christians who want to listen to gospel, for people that are old school, who want to do old school, for he has all the different categories of music. And he will ask their passengers what they want. As they are going, he's giving them free. Do you want to drink? It's free. He has internet. He has little things, The customer says, oh, I want to wipe my hand. He has wipes. He has just little in his taxi. And he's doing it for them for free. And he made a card, a business card that has class. You understand? Not something that you take and when you finish in the taxi, you just throw it out. That's what you want to keep it. That taxi driver business card is so nice. You want to go and copy it and make it your own. He did everything. And when he gets into his taxi, so the guy now read it. Somebody that the man picked. You understand? One of the businessmen that the man picked in America puts that thing on social media that he took a taxi in America, and this was how the driver treated him. He himself, he will not know that he's a taxi driver because he was well dressed. And the man said, after he began to talk to him, he said, how come? He said, well, he was always complaining. You understand? This taxi club said, this one, everybody just come into my taxi to talk nonsense. This one, come and go there, He said one day, he just told himself, if I hate this job so much, why am I complaining? Then I shouldn't do it. But if I don't do it, what will I eat? And so when he then borrowed himself sense, he then said, from today, I'm going to be enjoying this job because it's still the only thing that I'm doing that is bringing money to the table for me. And how am I going to be enjoying it? Let me be a part of that job. Let me begin to do the things that will help me to enjoy that job. So if I'm a passenger, what would I like to see in the taxi? So he started looking at that. How would I feel if I enter somebody else's taxi and they do this for me and they give me that one and they give so all of those things? He started thinking about it and he started putting it in his taxi. He would shine his taxi. He said, this taxi is now my office. So he started looking at his taxi, not as a taxi, but as his office. When he's going out, he said, I am going to the office. So he dresses up properly as if he's going to an office. Because his taxi is his office. So he dresses that part as someone who is going to his office. And so when he gets into his office, he'll say, what are the things I need in my office? I need a drink, I need to have this, my office must be clean and tidy, my this one. So he then decides decided to do all of those things. And he said, within a week, money that he would not make in 3 months, he was making it within a week. Because he would get passengers, he would, you know, the things that you go, before they go, where are you going? He has Googled it for you, he has given you, there are 3 options. This one will take you there fast. This one will take you there, you know, a little longer, but you can see the entirety of it if you're a tourist. This one will do this one will do that. He started educating himself and educating the customers, just like Madam has said earlier. So he started developing himself so that he can perform the role of being a taxi driver properly. Educate her. What do I need to know as a taxi driver? I need to know when the traffic is on. You know, in New York, how is the traffic? In this one, when is the traffic? When is the slow? So as soon as the passengers are coming, where are you going? This is a peak hour. I hope you are not in a hurry, because this journey might take a while, depending on where you are going. I'm going to, oh, that's going to take a while. Do you want to wait, have lunch somewhere, you know, let the traffic go, and all of that? He started advising them. He started giving them tips about, don't go to the Bronx. You know, these are the things that happen there. Is this your first time in New York? You know, this, that. He started, and you know when he started doing that, he himself started enjoying the job. He himself started enjoying himself and enjoying the job. And he would meet people. And people were recommending people. You know, there's nothing like referrals. No advertisements like referrals. Word of mouth. That he then now started to buy another taxi, train people like him. He started becoming an employer. And then what he will do is that he will get the taxi, he will then give it to somebody and say, give me commission. But this is the terms of reference. The taxi must be like this, you must do this, you must do that, you must do that. Now he has about 12 fleets of cars.
Wow. Wow.
As at that time, he must have had more now. 12 fleets of cars. And that was the story that affected the taxi driver gang, that he started doing things like that. So you see, being a taxi driver, you don't know how important. I always tell people, even my own personal car driver, my driver, I call him my TA, he's my transport assistant. What do I call my driver? My staff.
Transport assistant.
I don't call him a driver. He's my transport assistant. Because before I go anywhere, he's the one who knows where I'm going. He's the one who knows the route. He's the one who can Google it before we go. He's the one who will tell me, excuse me, I want to get there for 12, we must leave home at 10. He's the one who will tell me that excuse me, I go to turn in the motor. He's the one that when I'm going there and there's where this is where I'm going, before the bank closes. If I don't have a TA, I will be driving and I'll be looking at the bank. Did it all have to close? Me, the delay that they don't want to. Before I used to say I don't need driver. I can drive myself, I can drive with you. I can drive. But in Nigeria, you know us now, about 60 mama. You are going to the party. Go car, go. If you don't have the party, you will tell party, it's mine because you don't have the party. And you don't have driver. Hey, I'm a go back and I think it is slippers. You have a lot of slippers. Àwọn èèyàn kan tún máa wẹ̀ pé àwọn ẹ̀kọ́ ìlọ́pọ̀ lọ́wọ́ ọmọ máa ń kẹ́ wọ́n ṣe máa ṣe àgbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ lọ́tún máa wọ́n. So it's very important. The taxi driver or whoever is your pilot taking you anywhere will take you to that your destination. And that's how important you are to us. You are the ones we are depending on to take us to everywhere that we want to go. You are the one that we are relying on to inform us, give us information about all of those places. So that is what will make us happy as as your customers. And if you do all the things that are opposite, and you are one day, there are some people like that. There are some people like that. And some of us have experienced that.
Yes.
You go somewhere, their car, you'll be looking at the car. You know, the car itself is not. I will say, ever taxi. Some of them, they are not talking to you, but the people on the road, the way they are using them, everybody is mad. This one is and you'll be looking. They are not even talking to you. God come help you. I'll got to you. Passenger, leave us. There are some taxi drivers that sometimes I would think, I would say, this person cannot be normal. They do things that you think that they are not normal. They are not normal. Because normal people cannot be doing things like that. Do you understand? I have seen a taxi driver that use belts as seat belts. That was the seat belt. I can see the buckle, I can see everything. Also, opposite belt, also edge come, so I'm thinking, how can somebody? I don't know. I don't be creative. There are certain things that happen that you just wonder. And you know when people that are doing bad things, even if it's 10 of them out of 100, all the other 90, they have spoiled your name. People will not say taxi driver here, they will say I want taxi drivers. They just categorize all of you as if every one of you are like that. And it's only those small amount of people. You know when people are doing good things, people think it's normal, so nobody talks about it. But when somebody is doing bad things, we cannot afford to allow then it should affect my passenger. Do you understand? You know, you begin to just, everybody is beginning to annoy you. Some people, their wife has said, how come you people don't have female drivers here? Who is the female driver? Are you? They are not female driver. Any female driver? Any female Uber driver here? Boat driver? Taxify? Taxi driver? Kí lè ṣe fún wọn? Náà sí nínú union. Wọ́n láwọn tó ń gbógbó àwọn obìnrin tó ń máa kóró pé yíyẹn náà. They know even the small yellow buses now, you know, small dark buses. I saw some women doing it now. Bring them on board. They always bring sanity and balance too. Most women don't fight. They only fight with their husband and food. So you see, when we are able to have good attitude, no matter what is going on, you forget it and leave it at home, so that you can have a good mind to do your work properly. No matter she breakfast for you bread and so that when you are coming, every year you might take you my pee. Because somebody talk here, where are you going? Where are you going now? I did the best. I still love it. Oh, you are going to try to land, you guys land, you start rejecting passengers because you are angry. If the person come look like your wife, oh, see me, we must have the right attitude. What is our attitude? Please go back. Our approach. Our attitude is not just about ourselves, our approach. How do you talk to people? How do you approach them? How do you assist them? You understand? What is our outlook? Outlook means, you know, are you dressed well? Are you approachable? You know, will people look at you and want to talk to you? Or will they look at you and think it's that delivery guy that I was looking at and saying, this was you know, you know, your manners and your behavior your feelings. You see, one thing about our customers is that the services that we are providing is emotional for them. They are emotionally tied to it. Do you understand? There's something. That's why sometimes you will see somebody, you will not understand why that person is now angry. But there's something else that is going on emotionally within that person. And so when you say you are not going, you have really scattered all their plans. And they'll be like, and then the next person is not, if another one was available, they can even leave you as, but you are, when you want something, let's take, you go to some ShopRite, my bag shop, you want to buy fish. And somebody, you have already put a bag on you, or bread, or akara, you have thought about it in your head, and you know that ShopRite bread. And people always buy it. And then you go there, and then you see the queue from here to mile 12. And people will think that it's more than bread. Oh, bad for him, and you start and you look. They don't know the bread, they don't have bread to go me. It's not about buying bread at another place. It's just, people, nobody will, it's because your emotion, your feelings is attached to that thing, because you have already planned everything, and somebody came to just spoil your plan. Me, I like plantain. It happens to me. That's when I figured out that emotions are attached to services. I love plantain. And I wanted to try plantain there. How managing biscuit as I become culturalized. When I say last day, who went to one culturalized? Meanwhile, they will now put the food on the table, cover everything. You think that, you open it. Change our money, you should take it as a town. Two things can happen. You can see how the emotions are playing out. Abi, because something about that food. Meanwhile, I want to go to the park. So you either go fire Kobu or cover me that. And you go back out. And even that place where you are eating outside, you are still abusing them. And then you know to me, take a pot shake with the food. You don't pay point, you know. Then you know to me, to now come back to everybody to go to see one thing. And tell them what food I got affection. I put out your thing, you don't get to them. They check should have it. Yeah. Customer kill you. I didn't know the bit of let's come up with that. Nobody. Even when your friend kill you, wow, our emotions are always attached to services. And if you can just step back to think, let it be like, if it was me, how would I feel? And then you'll be able to also feel, it's called empathy. You need to be able to empathize with your customers. Carry on. How do we do that? When you are being thoughtful, you think, you understand, you are thoughtful. You know, how would I feel if somebody does this to me? How would I feel if I am also in this situation or I am in this position? To bá jẹ́ pé mi náà ńkọ́. Tó bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ fẹ́ mi, mo ṣe máa feel. Tó bá jẹ́ pé wọ́n sọ pé báwo ni mo ṣe máa feel. So those are the kind of things. Being conscious. You know, if you are conscious means that you don't need tẹríba, you don't need respect. You know, some people will say your customer is always a customer. You know, they say customers are always right. Even when they are wrong, they are right. So customers kì í jẹ̀bi rárá. Kò sí kí tẹ́ máa rúdé. So, and then they want to help you to carry it. My question. And if it's something that is very big, when I get to, don't touch it to. Couple of wives, man, clean everything. These are called etiquettes. etiquette. Have small hand sanitizer. Have small water also in your car. Let the passenger see that when you finish, you wash it. That passenger will see, oh, this is a very neat someone who has etiquette, food etiquette. You know, somebody's doing you just go to food. Sorry, you have spray at the tomato sauce in the motor, air freshener in the car, just fit it in the car. You know, so that those things don't cost us much. Just let them see that you have that etiquette, you know, to interact with them. Your body language plays and habitual gestures is talked about eye contact and everything. We must make sure that. So in summary, etiquette is being mindful of what you are doing and saying, particularly when others are watching you, when they are listening to you. Some people on the taxi, till they reach where they are going, they are having conversation. Some of them will be talking rubbish. Some of them are killing. I will deal with that in the morning. First that I took to give my wife shalama for her bag, and I'm pass money. And you be thinking, what is this one? Some of them are appreciating, look up, the person is now taking all the. Sometimes the passenger, there are other people there. Yes. It's not just you in the car. And you are giving all of those information. If you don't have to call the lady, you know, even if you're not a fair body, and then they are chasing you. Maybe you are even lying to that person. You understand? They will not come with your house. Where is the 10 million? 10 million. Is it 10 million? I need 10 million. You have 10 million. I don't have them. I need 10 million. I'll walk from some information that you have 10 million. It doesn't come about you need 2 million. You know how much you you have to. We have to be careful. When you are a passenger, in fact, sometimes as a driver, when that person says, "Madam, too much information, man," they might be caught by you. Exactly. You also have the right to tell them. The person will thank you. God, just tell the person, I'm in a taxi now. We'll discuss this when I come off. Some people are the ones that are using their hand to do themselves. Okay. What are some actions that will make some of your customers feel that you don't value them, you don't like them, you are not interested in them? Sometimes if you don't greet them, you understand. Now let me tell you the interesting thing. We don't owe each. Don't assume that everybody knows what name we call this kind of people or those kind of people. You understand? Say plain, be authentic. Just let them, know every other thing. Be careful with your sense of humor. You have to be very careful. Some of us are trying to be humorous, You understand? Some people you can just try to be funny. Don't tell them you don't know. Okay? Because they are relying on you to tell them what it is, especially with our tourists, our visitors. So if they say Republic of say that again, Republic of Republic. The only republic I know is Kalakuta Republic. Yeah, man, that one, that's Kalakuta Republic, that's going there, man. When you say I don't know, all the tips that is going to give you, everything. Okay. Then our body language, sense of communication. Our body language. I can be. They say we should do it. Yes, we are doing it. I'm talking, but my body language is saying something else. So your body language, and that is why you charge the car door. And some people they are saying something and they are saying, are you not interested? It's okay. And some people are like that. So everything you are saying is entering their head. Their body language is telling you how interested they are. Some people you are talking and they are doing something else. Are you listening? Body language. That's when we know if our child wants it, we know there's something. Frank, not to Frank, you can you're proud. You know my mother, when she calls me, I know when she's upset and I know when finish my day like that, I'm in trouble. But if you just say, hey, Nikki, you want to gist? Next one, Nikki, I'll let some kilo and get a so everybody's body language is the most important thing. And that is why when people come into our taxis, come into our Uber, come into our, let them feel it's a relaxed atmosphere. Some people you get into the car, is this person going to kill you? To their car. And you are thinking, hey, Chemos, it's about. No, that much. Go see or no? So we need to really, be careful. So because change, you have to change with time. What is the new thing what are the new things that you can bring on board? What are the things that you can add? Training on work, aeroplane, in fact, because that one can carry people and train. When we were in the you should do it now. Revolution, technology, revolution, with the industrial revolution. They are trying to do hologram now with this technology, fourth technological revolution. I'll be here now, and my body will be in London. They'll be looking at me as I'm talking. The only thing is that when they touch me like this, the thing will scatter, and then it will form again. It's me, I don't want a car, a taxi that could drive me by itself because I don't trust human beings. Well, these things are coming. Change. Are we ready for it? What are we doing? Am I the power logic? Class of education. Listen, let him be thinking about it. How do you grow with technology? How do you grow with the change that is on us? You can use it to enable yourself. You can have taxi that does not have driver. You can have taxi that you can put Google Map on it. You know that you can also be just between and what is share one very soon now they will have aeroplane taxi in the air. Some people are doing taxi in the air now. In the air. But the truth of the matter is that life is changing. We need to evolve with it. As it is changing, let us be evolving with it. Okay, so these are the different ways that we can transact and be customer user friendly. You understand? These are the ways. Interaction via phone. You know, you can now everybody's calling each other. Abi, there was a time, maybe 15 years ago, they said that you will have a phone. You will only say it's only when you go to office or there are some children that they born now. If you show them the phone, in fact, my son said, this is like the archives. Did they bring them from the archives? They want to go archives or but you know, I know it, I grew up with it. He was thinking as he was like in the 18th century. Because they didn't grow up. Some children, they will show them the phone, they will be looking for how do they use it. Yes. They will be looking for it. What do you do? Where is the button? What do you press there? How is it used? So you can interact via telephone, interaction via mail or chats. Everybody has chats now. You understand? Everybody. Our technology, it comes with a lot of blessings and plenty of curses. It is only you as an individual that you must find the balance. Whether you want it to bless you or you want it to be a form of curse. You know, technology, you know, you'll be talking to somebody on the phone. Is still listening to you. We must know how we use it and manage it to our own advantage. Okay. Interaction via social media. Some people have their being on social media, advertising yourself on social media. Correspondence and then in person. And I dare to say the most important one is that last one, in person. And no matter the amount of technology, you cannot remove human interaction. To go and talk to somebody, they just needed to go to party, they just needed to go to their club, they just needed to go to their amala joints. So all of those things were taken away. And some people just didn't, they couldn't cope. They didn't know what to do. They couldn't cope. Some people, husband and wife, they see finish, don't happen. They begin to teach each other. Because before the man don't carry God, come out, don't go work. But the home, they stay there. People get on there and want to get I'm on law school. Everything was just bad. That is why we say, no matter what, human being interaction is still, God knows what He's doing before He created us. And still we are interacting with each other. No matter the technology. My son in the UK, how did I do when I was going? When I was going there in August, the money for the ticket was plenty. I said, I don't care. I've not seen my son since last year, 2019. 1 year, I've not seen. We are doing this, the video call. I was in video call on his. But you know this. I want to hug him. I want to talk to him. I want to touch him. I say, it's around you. What he did, you don't get. It's just, there was no amount of video call, Skype call that could, I would just be touching the face of the screen. Yeah, why we give? So there is something about human interaction. And that is why your jobs are so important. She said something the other time. Some people will go to a place. They don't want to go to the tourist place. They don't want to go and see any attraction. They don't want to see anything. They just want to go and talk to people, different people. I met this one, she sells amala. I met that one, she's a taxi driver. I met this one, she's a tailor. I met that one, she's a banker. And they, they just like that. I met everybody blend of the different kinds of human beings that God has created. And that is what is keeping us going as human beings. So we must always remember that. I think I'm almost done. Okay. I'm almost done. She started with stories that we hear. There are some people that we always tell our stories to. Maybe because we think that we are not going to meet again. Maybe because they just happen to be there. Taxi driver, barber, hairdresser, barman, when they are in the bar. Everybody shares stories down people about individuals. Because people will just be talking. Something has happened to them. You become their confidant. Hey, but I kill enough feel now. You now become, my list of money. You just take it easy. You become counselor. Because they feel that they have seen you today, they are not seeing you again. So there's something, they become vulnerable with you. They don't hold back. Some people will even tell you private things. They can now be saying it as if it's not there. Ọkọ òkè bá sùn nílé lójoojúmọ́, ó wá náà fẹ́ fi ilẹ̀, ẹgbọ́n ṣe kó fi ilẹ̀. Ọkùnrin ni yín, ẹ̀yin náà bá wa dá sí, ẹ̀ bọ́ to put mouth there. I said this is my friend. It's not me, it's my friend. The husband has not been sleeping with her for a long time. Should she leave? She leave am. Shebi you too, you are a man now, tell me, what do you think? And then the man will say, how many times does he sleep with her? Maybe 3 times a month. How do you know? If it's not you. So they will be asking questions, the taxi driver or the Uber or whoever will know that it is them. But they will humor them. I say, maybe you too, the person too. You first of all say maybe you too. I mean the person, not maybe the person too. He's not dressing well. They will tell you all of their story, and you know, by the time they come down, they have some kind of answer or solution. You understand? The same thing when people go to hairdresser, or they go to barber, or they go to bar, to mechanic workshop, and get there. And the middle of a joke by mechanical advisor. I tell you there. But most of those ones are men. But this guy, and get one side chick like that. What my friend gets, you get one side chick. The side chick say don't get belly. How can side chick get belly? How the guy go tell them? Tell me how I go advise the guy. Make you tell your wife. And make you not tell your wife. And the guy will come say, the side chick, how long is your friend that you are been at your friend at the how long will they stay? Be like that kind of 3 years. But you said they take charge for 14 years. You have become wife now. It's trendy. It's not trendy. That side chick that says it's not going anywhere. So a lot of times that is what we do. And very rarely would that person know them. So let us keep this confidential. We talked about give appropriate information. Don't give information that you don't know. Don't say maybe, oh yeah, you tell that boy to solve you more money. You don't know everything. You don't have to know everything. Just tell them you don't. Finish. Be discreet and tactful. You are the taxi driver for husband. You are the taxi driver for wife. They trust you in their family. Husband say take me to side chick. Wife come the next day. Where did my husband say to take? Well, I can't even know. Go and ask him. I think we went to so many places. It's one back on Loma. But he told me, where did my where did he go now? The next thing you will go carry in the land. I don't see people like that. I don't see people who go in suit. And we have fine, and the touch of fire. What is your hold now? Which one is your hold now? It can even be the husband. He has set you up. And my mom tell madam lost it because my friend died $1. And then when you take madam, because the only one for you. When you take my madam, okay, ask your madam. And when she tell me I take her, I take her. She very entitled. No, I can't tell you that. It's part of the ethics of our job. Just like a doctor, we are not supposed to be telling anything and all of that. Only can go on see the economy. You may go and really follow. You may go and see the double back with the street, your mom of what you do. The left, the right, the center. I don't know. You have to be discreet. Akurawani Jana. Don't go or follow Masco. It's the Igani woman set up. They set us up so that they can. Then I will not be the downfall of any home. Okay. Give accurate information and keep records appropriately. Remember, keep records. When you carry someone, try to remember because something can happen. And if you don't remember, look at that one that you said somebody died or they killed somebody. The person committed suicide. You know, if you keep records, you will know who to be careful of. You will know where to go. You will know where not to go. You will be able to have good records. Police can do investigation. I'm sure that investigation will happen. Some of you, police will call you. Because they will say that the taxi driver that did this, that did that, that did that. You understand? There was one guy that came from UK. They said the guy was in a, what that reality TV? The one with the drinks. Trophy or
Ultimate Star.
Ultimate Star. Yes, that they killed him. Remember, the taxi driver that took him home, they went to arrest him. I think it's an Uber. They arrested the Uber because they felt that the Uber was working in conjunction with the robbers that followed them at the airport. but the guy was able to, you know, probably give good details how they got him, where he did, and all of those things. Remember the guy. You know, and then they will trace all the other records. Where did you go yesterday? Where did this one? Because they are looking for your alibis. You understand? So if you are able to give good accounts and records of your movements, the things you were doing, how you were doing it, what time you got to a place, what time you left, they will then, at least, they can then corroborate gbogbo nǹkan tẹ̀ ń ṣe pé ta ló wà bẹ́ẹ̀ gbà náà àbò wà lọ́dọ̀ ìyàwó mi nígbà báyìí ó wà lọ́dọ̀ ọ̀rẹ́ mi báyìí àbò wà ní kíní kan. When you have all those records, it will help you. So it's very good to keep good records. Passengers, why do I have to be driving all the day? And why do I have to ask yourself? Number two, ask yourself, who am I doing it for? Who are my passengers? Who are my co-workers? Who are the places? Who is the person? Who is this one? Who is that one? Who is involved? Who am I doing it for? Who is helping me? Who am I serving? Who am I carrying? Who am I? If you are able to answer that question, then you will be convinced whether you still want to do it or you don't want to do it. Then where? Where am I going? Where am I picking them up? Where am I heading to? Where am I coming from? Where am I? Do you understand? Ask yourself, how am I going to add value? How am I going to, you know, do this or that or that or that? All of these questions are your personal questions. And the way, the type of answers you get will give you confidence that you are doing the right thing, you are in the right job, or you need to step up your game, or you need to even leave authority and the master of that job. So don't let your customers push you around. You understand? Be firm, but be fair. Be also be approachable and welcoming, but be firm. For example, you have negotiated the amount and all of those things, and then they are trying to tell you that no, JP is only from there to there. Yes, but that is how much it is. And we said it before, and we agreed on it, and all of that. So it is not just some of these questions. So what is the most important thing that you have learned in this training, from Madam's training, from my own training? And I don't want to say we have learned any nǹkan tó bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ kí ni nǹkan tẹ́ rí dìbò nínú gbogbo nǹkan tá a ṣe thank you sir. Connect pẹ̀lú ìlú láti.
So much. Oh, the mother again. This one is my fan shuttle services, taxi. So in this seminar, I can call it, I've learned how to perfect my relationship with customers that I'm taking, and likewise I've learned how to make a friend where I think there is no friend, mostly with my customers.
Well done, sir. Thank you very much. I love this class, honestly.
My name is Tope now. I am very much grateful to the first facilitator and the second facilitator for the fact that we ourselves as drivers, we never counted ourselves so important like this. So that means we are very much important. And the lectures we have learned, most of them we have known before, but we are learning it for further improvement. And that was one part. And the second aspect is that this will energize us and enable us to go further towards doing more than ever before. One, for the fact that it's a rebellious generation, not only for us, but for the state and Nigeria in general. The last aspect, I told you before that Lagos State organized the program and they took us to the head. About 2 months ago, took us through welfare, sorry I forgot the ministry, on mental disorder, wealth creation, on mental disorder. We learned so much about just sitting down, thinking anyhow, thinking only yourself, thinking what you have within yourself, rather than expressing it within the people around you, so that probably you can get one help or the other, or one understanding or what the other leads to depression. Another thing we are learning to do. So I'm very much grateful, and we promise that we will make this lesson to a larger house for other members. Thank you very much.
One thing I will also add,
this is good for them, but they're not doing it to help the ministry, but to help the councils.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. And so, we want to do it, what we have learned, we want to do what we have learned. What will hinder us? What will stop us? What do you think? Now that you are all going back to your different organizations, associations, institutions, local governments, local council, what is it that will stop you, that will not allow you to do some of those things that you have learned here? Mention some things.
Well, Helen, firstly, I thought it was a waste of time.
Thanks for being honest.
Well, throughout some circumstances, I was like, wow, it's beyond imagination. I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed.
Thank you very much.
Learned a lot. But what I will advise is that the date, 25-26, we still need more people to learn a lot. Because a lot of people out there, they know nothing about everything inside there. And it's not everybody will learn, told everything that there's this particular training. Apart from us, we are just here, we are not much. So I would like to extend the date for some people that they don't have the chance to be here or something. That is well.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Please let's appreciate it. Right.
From the first facilitator to Yuma, most of what you taught us is something that I've seen, experienced physically. I'm a proud owner of my own house courtesy of a customer. The customer was from one of these South people and a commissioner of his state that I didn't know. But the impression that I created in her mind kept us going for years. That at a point, she called me and said, look for something that I can do for you. I said, madam, what do you want to do for me? Because each time she travels to Lagos, she will call me in advance. I will be the one to pick her up from the airport, take her to wherever she wants to go before she goes back. So she now said, okay, what do you want? I said, madam, what I want, or if you can do for me. Said, what is it? I said, I need a house of my own. She said, go and look for it. And she paid for it. That's my way. What can hinder us?
Serious testimony.
What can hinder us from applying what we have learned today? I will go by my own experience as a member of Lagos State Taxi Drivers and Cab Drivers Association. We are the one using the yellow taxi. But maybe it is the government legislation or whatever that are hindering our services. Because now the tourism is in two parts, international and domestic.
Yes.
Okay, now let's for example at international visitors to Nigeria. Now we, the yellow taxi, we are not allowed to take a passenger out of the international airport. We are not allowed to go by the route of local to international. And we are registered in Lagos. I could remember during the time of Governor Fashola, we were given a professional license. I'm a licensed taxi driver, and I'm proud to be one. But if I could went through such a rigor, and I have all my profiling and everything in the outside here, and somebody is still putting an impediment on my work that I cannot pick a passenger from the airport. So how am I going to have an interface with a visitor that is coming into Nigeria? How am I going to, contribute my own culture to the development of the tourism in Nigeria? So these are some of the things. So I just want Lagos State government to please help us in that regard.
Thank you for that documentation. First time I'm hearing it, but maybe we need to look what happened. Why was that legislature or law put in place? What were, so those are some of the things that we need to know first before we can fight any battle. You understand? That means that your association must be more in line with Ministry of Tourism, because our tourists are also international people. So we need to know. Another thing, airport is not under Lagos State, it's federal. So sometimes the things that the laws that they put in place might not be from the perspective of Lagos State. It might be from the perspective of holistic Nigeria. However, the more we are able to interface with your association, the more you tell us your impediments, the things the more we can also negotiate with federal to say, listen, we are the ones who are receiving tourists in Lagos State. These are the things that will make it work for those that are registered with us. We only use, even in the hotels, if you are not registered with us, we will not tell tourists to go there. Even if you are 10-star hotel, if you don't register, we will not tell any tourists to go to your hotel. If they go there, they are on their own. And the same thing we would like to do with any of our, because tourism we say connecting the dots, transport, roads, waterways, hotels, militaries, restaurants, everything. We cut across everything. And we have stakeholders in all of those places. But the stakeholders that are important always come to us, tell us, have meetings with us, let us know. So send your delegates. Let them come and see the commissioner. Abi? Yes. Let them come and see the commissioner. State all those things that are hindering you. And then we too will state all our expectations. And we can see how we can work together.
In addition, the Uber drivers that taxify, they are not allowed to operate at the airport as well.
Same here. Same. We don't used to go to airport too.
Okay. In Lagos. Yes, I'm aware that Uber drivers are.
On that day, they will get us arrested.
Who are the people there?
The car hires.
The airports have their own drivers.
The airport people have their own car hires.
Car hires registered.
Yes, they register.
Are they the fan shop?
Yes. So what of them?
You should be friends now.
Please, I think for about 15 years ago now, I've been working at the airport for the past 26 years. I happen to be the current chairman of the ASA, that is the International Airport Cargo Operators, for the past 3 years. So with my experience, I think this issue was addressed, I think about going to about 10 years ago. I think I was the Secretary General of the association then. And what really brought to the conclusion of that meeting was that the airport, they have already started stakeholders under federal government, at which they are being given routines. And the likewise from international airport, if they have their passengers going outside the airport, probably in the long distances, they have their concessionaires registered. I think that's an annual payment which they do to the naval inspection. Likewise, there are some shuttles that probably maybe if they have any passengers going outside the airport, and that shuttles goes within the range of international airport to domestic airport, at which the yellow cab had their own registered offices closer to the airport. So if you are bringing anybody out that is interested in these yellow painted cabs, they take them from international airport or GAT likewise to tax their park within local airport and registered under FAN. And likewise, if you are driving along 7 or 8, probably from international airport and route Oshodi, once the airport registered cab pick them from the airport, they can likewise drop them at the yellow cab registered park from the international airport. So that really specifies the the work. So since then, and up till now.
Right.
Thank you.
Like I said earlier, the only thing that is constant is change. Is it about time we review that arrangement? Memorandum of understanding and all of these things that they will do it. Some they share, I don't know, maybe they share the spaces with them that, you know, you will be here, you will be there. Another one, they said, you know, you have 50 registered, shuttle something, 50 registered, this, that, you understand? Then after 6 months, they will rotate those people so that it's not the same set of people that will be there all the time. They rotate them, you understand? It's just something that maybe we should start having those sort of discussion, and it starts with all of your associations. Because government, we are not in the business of doing business, but we are in the business of regulating businesses and creating enabling environments. You understand? We can't do the business, but we create that enabling environment so that your businesses can thrive. So if you have businesses and you are fighting, we will step back, because we will not be seen as taking sides. We will not want to be seen that we favor this one, we don't favor that one. I will say, go and settle your fight. Whatever your decision, come and tell us. And it is that your decision that we will work with. And so I'm imploring to you, we all have the same vision to satisfy our customers, to also be able to satisfy our pockets and the states and then Nigeria in general. So at the end of the day, our own focus in Ministry of Tourism is to make Lagos State the 5th tourism hub in the entire world, and then the 3rd destination in Africa. That is our vision. And that is why in this dispensation, you can see, if you look at Dr. Sanwo-Olu's theme agenda, one of the last things is about entertainment and tourism. So we are really concentrating on it. When was the last time you had this type of training? Do you understand? So, but we are making sure that we are doing that which we have said. And we want it to happen. And we recognize that we cannot make it happen without your contribution, without you being a part of it. Because when customer comes, it's not me in the office that they will see. It is you that is out there that they will see. And it is what you tell them that will give them an impression of who we are as a government, as a state, as people who are in the tourism space. And so, if there is a way that we can all sort of sit down together and renegotiate what is on the table. You already hear how they feel. You already hear what's brought about their own, way that they are doing their businesses. Let us sit down. Every war that is going on in this world, the gun and sword and gun never solves it. It is always sitting down and dialogue. No matter how bad the war is, until people sit down and dialogue, that is what brings the world to an end. And that is what we all need to do here. So thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for all your contributions. Thank you for taking time out. We know that this is money for you sitting down here, but the money you want to make, just giving us today to do the training, and you all turned up. We really appreciate you. We say thank you very much, and let the conversation continue. The director will give the vote of thanks. Where is he? I know I'm coming. I think we have been able, both of us have been able to convince you and not confuse you that the office to say that you are not just taxi drivers, you are certified taxi drivers who have attended the prerequisite training when it comes to taking care of tourists. Okay, so our first person, who has also been facilitating for us, Uche Ibiabuchi Chinyere. Because not only have you facilitated, you have also partook in the training. So thank you very much.
Tikintokpe ORIYOMI. Olamide Gbenga Omojibola. Adediji Olusegun. Onibweke O. Alex. Tijani Ganiu Bakari. Lebute Sunday. Oyebanji Akim O. Balogun Moniru. Balogun Moniru Olamilekan. Adeda Ra.